at a young age, it's hard to learn that you have to put so much work in to get to something when you're that little. I mean, a lot of parents just put their kids on a new team. But it taught me to work for something that I really wanted. And if I wanted it that bad, that I was going to have to work my butt off to get it.
Yeah, I remember I'd get in the car after every weekend, and I would cry. I'm like, this is awful. Why am I not playing? And my parents were like, well, look at all the girls in front of you. Like, they're way better than you. Like, that's why you're not playing. And so then it was just like, they're like, you know, you can either go play on another team that's not as good, or you can go to practice every day, work hard, put in the extra work, and you can get to where they're at.
Hey, did you guys have fun in the Tennessee series? That must have been great.
Yes.
You guys both played well.
Yeah, it was a big win to get this weekend.
It was a lot of fun. The crowd was insane. There were so many people there, so it was a great atmosphere.
Let's introduce ourselves and see if people who don't get to see the video portion of this can keep up with who's talking.
Okay.
Okay, so first off, we have Lauren.
Yep.
She's wearing red for those of you watching on video. And then we have Hannah.
Yes.
Who's wearing, I don't know what color that is.
Cream, tan, I don't know.
Okay, so what position do you both play? We'll start with you, Lauren.
I'm a catcher and an infielder.
Pitcher and outfield.
So you both play multiple positions. What do you enjoy about like your experience so far at Arkansas and what's happened?
I mean, it's been crazy. I never would have thought when I first got here that I'd be in the position I am, that I've been able to do since I've got here, especially as a freshman. I mean, you just are thankful for any playing time that you get, and just to see what we've done as freshmen is pretty special.
How about you,
Yeah, I
Hannah?
would say the same thing. Just, it's been so cool just seeing the fans here, how much they've embraced us. Like, they've had our back from the beginning. They've believed in us, and so that's just been really cool. And just the whole experience has been amazing. It's everything I've ever dreamed of.
Hannah, what was it like for you both to have success in the Tennessee series?
It was really cool. I mean, it's crazy to get the opportunity for one person to do, let alone to do it with your twin sister at the same time in the same game. So it was really awesome.
Yeah, I would say it's pretty special. I mean, you grow up watching teams like Tennessee and Arkansas play, and then now that it's you there, it's pretty crazy to think that I'm in this position.
So you don't both get to play at the same time in each game.
Yeah.
So it's cool when you do.
Yeah.
Because you've been doing that your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
But what is it like when you're not? That's a new experience, right, Lauren?
Yeah. I just know that like when I'm out there, she's still in the dugout supporting me no matter what, and especially if it was vice versa, that we have each other's backs no matter if we're on the field together or if we're not.
I'd say the same thing. I mean, when she's up to bat and I'm not in the game, I'm probably more nervous than she is when she's up to bat because I want her to succeed probably more than she does. So but it's really cool to watch her do her thing. I mean, she's been great all season.
It's really cool being twins, I guess. I've never been one, but we'll get into that a little bit. But we've heard all the cliche things about twins, and we'll talk about some of it. But I can imagine it's cool that you both got to this spot on this journey together, especially both enjoying to play softball and all that. And so I want to hear a little bit about how we got to this point. So when we back up, when did sports become a thing, and were you both playing sports together all the time, or did one of you start and the other one kind of jumped in later?
We both always started. I mean, my parents always put us we went to things together, like sports together, everything. And our family was very sports oriented growing up. We always watched everything that was on ESPN, SEC Network. And my mom played softball in high school, and so that's just a sport we chose to play. And we played basketball growing up too. And then when we went to our first tryout for like our select softball team or whatever, my parents were like, okay, like I think we need to give this a try. And I was all in. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this thing. And Hannah was like, no matter if I make the team or not, I'm not going. Like, I don't wanna do this. I wanna stay on the team I'm on. And she was just not in, and I was all in, but.
You liked the team that you had.
Yeah, I did.
Were you guys on the same team?
Yeah, we've always
we
been
were.
on the
You
same
didn't
team.
want to leave the team.
No, I didn't even want to try out.
Hannah
They
just wanted
basically
to-
forced me to go. They're like, you're
Right.
going no matter what. And I was like, I don't care. If they want me, I'm not going. I didn't care.
How old were you?
We were
I was
8.
8, about to be 9 when I tried out, yeah.
was an adult decision. Made it 8 years old. So it started at an early age, Hannah.
Yeah.
Did you guys play other sports?
We played basketball together, and then we played basketball till 8th grade. And then right when we hit high school, we decided not to play anymore. Just hitting the recruiting age, it was hard to make camps and all that stuff at the same time.
Lauren, were you guys always good?
No.
Really?
Yeah, when we were little, we were awful. When we went to our first tryout, we didn't know how to bunt. We didn't catch a single pop fly at tryouts. The guy who ran the organization was like, the only reason we took you guys was because you were athletic, and we were literally awful at softball.
I remember we went up
so
to our dad and we were like, Dad, we don't know how to bunt. He was like, just get in line and watch the other girls. We were terrible.
Awful.
I mean, I think the first team we played on,
We never played.
We
We sat
ever.
the bench all the time.
Did it ever hurt you in a team situation, a tryout situation, because they knew they probably had to take both of you? Or did it help?
I would say it probably helped a little bit. I don't know. I would say,
We're getting two good players. When you got good,
yeah.
that's
When we got good,
yeah.
it helped us definitely, because we've always been both about the same skill level. We were both really bad together, and then we were really good together. So I would say it definitely helped. I mean, they obviously knew that we wanted to play together. So
Did you come from athletic parents, family, pedigree? Tell me about that.
Yeah, my mom played softball in high school, and then my dad played football and he wrestled, and then my mom's brother played baseball, and then both my dad's brothers wrestled. His middle brother wrestled at UNI.
So, yeah, I mean, if you didn't make it here, I guess you just would have been a failure. I'm just kidding. But you guys kind of knew, like, and I'm sure the culture of your family's probably sort of sports driven, Hannah?
yeah, super sports driven and very competitive. Very competitive.
So, yeah, that's what I meant with my joke about making it here. So I can just imagine what that was like. Like, give me a scene, like, around a family holiday or something where everybody's around. What's happening?
So when we were little, my grandpa was like super into WWE wrestling. And it was always, whenever we went to grandpa's house, it was like you had to clean your plate, all that kind of stuff. And we were the oldest cousins, and so you have the title belt. And so he got us a title belt for Christmas one year. And we used it for everything. Whoever could clean their plate the fastest got the title belt. Whoever made it to bed faster got the title belt. So we would literally race to bed every single night from the bottom of the steps to our bedrooms. And whoever made it first got the title belt. Whoever woke up first in the morning got the title belt. I used it for everything.
And where did that come from?
My grandpa, he would watch WWE wrestling every Friday night or whatever Monday night it was. And so he got us one for Christmas one year. And we used it for everything.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of fun. So, siblings besides you two?
Nope, it's just us.
All right, so what's that been like? Or I guess you wouldn't know any different.
Yeah.
But
It's always been us. Yeah, we have little cousins, but we've always been the oldest on our side of the family out of the cousins. So.
who's the technical oldest?
I am by 19 minutes.
19 minutes?
Yes.
Long time.
That's a big win. Yeah. How you feel about that, Hannah?
I get it thrown in my face every once in a while.
So how do we celebrate birthdays?
Oh, together. She never really makes that a big deal, but yeah.
We don't have to like have 19 minutes apart or...
No, I should have done that. Should have been like,
Well,
I
you
get
can
up
always
my
start.
So
Yeah.
open my presents 19 minutes before
Yeah.
she does.
So how did y'all end up at Arkansas?
Well, about, I would say 7th, 8th grade, that's like when our recruiting journey kind of started going to camps all around, like the SEC everywhere. And my travel ball coach just told us like, hey, I think Arkansas would be a good place to try. And I was kind of like, oh, okay, like, Arkansas. And my parents like, do you want to go there? And I was like, oh yeah, I don't know, we can give it a try. So we got in a rental car, we drove down here, and I remember the first camp we went to, just meeting all the coaches. And on the way back to the hotel that night, my parents looked at each other and they were like, this is the place. Like, they knew after that first day, like, this is where we wanted to be. It just felt like home from the very first time we were here.
What stood out beyond just you had a good feeling about it, Lauren?
Well, we're from a small town in Nebraska, and so we have a cornfield in our front yard, and just knowing that like it's still a small town feel when we're here, and it wasn't a big city that we're coming to, and it still felt like home while we were here at the same time. It wasn't like we were jumping into like LA or something like that, it was still gave us that country small town that we're used to.
I need to go back to, you had a cornfield in your front yard.
Yeah.
I assume you still do?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Across the street.
What does this
Across
look
the
like? Okay, so it's sort of, give me the land. What's it look like?
Well, we live on, what is it, about an acre probably?
Yeah.
And then it's a golf course. We have a golf course in our backyard. And then
Wait, your own personal golf course?
no, we just live on a golf course. But then in the front yard, there's our yard, and then across the street, there's a cornfield. Yeah.
So it's not your cornfield?
No.
No,
Okay.
not ours.
But I mean, yeah, you live in an area, it's not Iowa, is it?
No.
But it's
No.
like, it's because Iowa, and
Yeah.
you're near Omaha, and I feel like if you're in Iowa, maybe you have to have a cornfield or something.
Yeah.
But it's got to be one within like a half mile of your
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
Everybody. So you grew up kind of Midwest country.
Yeah. My dad's family, they're all farmers, so.
Okay. So you got some work ethic probably from that, right?
Yeah.
Lauren?
Yeah.
Okay. Hannah, what kind of work did you guys do growing up? And we can talk about, outside of softball.
Okay.
But I also understand that when you get into competitive softball, probably like 11, 12 years old, by then for sure your summers are all like gone.
Yeah.
You're playing softball.
Well, when we were younger, my grandpa would plant like the normal field corn that you like sell to other people. Then he would plant a patch of sweet corn. So us two and our little cousin Cole, we would sell sweet corn. We'd go out and pick it, and we would sell it on the corner of our neighborhood to people. So that was one thing we did. And then my dad's youngest brother, he worked like directly with my grandpa, helped plant everything, harvest everything, and we would go out and cut mare's tail in the summer, which is just a weed that like grows in the bean field. We had to take like these big, I don't even know what they were called, like this knife thing to cut them
Like
down.
machetes?
Yeah. And I remember the first
really
day
a
he told,
machete.
not really, but it's like, I don't even know.
I don't know.
sorta-
We just whacked it down with
Sort
it.
of like a softball bat, but
Yeah.
sharper.
And I remember the first day we went, he like told us you need to wear long pants, like so you don't get cut by like the leaves. I was like, okay. It's like, make sure you eat something. Of course, I didn't do that. And I was like, why do I need to eat anything? So I showed up in like these black, thick sweatpants. It's like 95 degrees out in July. I made it like 30 minutes. I was dying of heat exhaustion. I was so hungry. I literally like sat down in the field, and like halfway through the day, he had to take us to Subway because I was dying. It was awful. And my dad was like, my dad was so mad. He was like, are you kidding me? You made it that long? That's pathetic. Ever since then, I ate something in the morning and never complained.
How about the softball work looking back? When did it become kind of, all in?
Well, when we started on our first team, we never played. And I just remember we never stepped on the field, like ever. We'd get like an at bat here and there. And so
It's not a waste, I guess, but you're gone. It feels like you're wasting
Yeah,
every
you
weekend.
feel like you are.
Yeah.
I'm like, I could be hanging out with my friends right now.
Right.
But I just remember like going up to my dad and I was like, Dad, why aren't we playing? Like, I want to be on the field. And then they just had to be like, well, you're not where you need to be right now. And so ever since then, it was just.
This is like 8, 9 years old?
Yeah. And I was like, we just knew that this is our sport and that we were going to give everything we got to go after it. And so.
I mean, most parents, when they have 8 or 9 year old kids and they're paying money to be on this team and you're traveling, were you guys like traveling just locally, or were you staying weekends away?
It was pretty much just local. I mean, we'd go to Kansas City like once or twice
So
a
an
year.
hour or
but-
two or whatever.
Yeah.
But at that point, they're gonna probably put you on another team. And I'm interested that A, you made the team, B, you're not playing, and you're still learning softball. But most importantly, why did you guys stay on that team?
Honestly, now looking back at it, it was the greatest thing that could have ever happened to us when we were little. I mean, it's something that at a young age, it's hard to learn that you have to put so much work in to get to something when you're that little. I mean, a lot of parents just put their kids on a new team. But it taught me to work for something that I really wanted. And if I wanted it that bad, that I was going to have to work my butt off to get it.
And it's incredible. I mean, it just doesn't happen very often anymore. What was your perspective at the time, Hannah, were you guys mad? Were you?
Yeah, I remember I'd get in the car after every weekend, and I would cry. I'm like, this is awful. Why am I not playing? And my parents were like, well, look at all the girls in front of you. Like, they're way better than you. Like, that's why you're not playing. And so then it was just like, they're like, you can either go play on another team that's not as good, or you can go to practice every day, work hard, put in the extra work, and you can get to where they're at. So I would say that's kind of what I realized was there's a reason I'm sitting the bench, and that there's something that I could do about it.
So what'd you guys do? How did it change?
So there's my hitting coach that I hit with before. His name's Dick Jablonski. His daughter went and played college softball in Nebraska, and they had a team called Nebraska Gold that was like the highest level team out of our organization or whatever. And my dad's an electrician, and so the team that I was playing, like the organization or whatever, they were building a new indoor facility at the time. And so my dad, they needed some people to put some lights in. And so the guy who has the team was like, hey, would you be willing to like help us out and put some lights in? And my dad was like, yeah, I'll put some lights in if for exchange you give my kids hitting lessons. So that's just kind of how it started. And I mean, when we first had our first hitting lesson, we were awful. We only hit off the tee. We did nothing else besides hit off the tee down the middle. And he was like, honestly, I'm surprised he stuck with us because our first lesson was not good. We didn't have the attention span for our lesson, and just he sat down with us and he told us, he was brutally honest with us too, and was like, you guys are gonna have to come here and work your butts off every day to get to where you need to be. And just having those people be honest with us just made us realize that if we wanted it, that's what we were gonna have to do.
Hannah, when were you guys starting to realize that you were having success in the work that you were putting in and that was paying off and you were maybe getting results?
I would say probably around like 11, 12 is when you really started to see us like really like grasp it, and it was really showing up in games. But I would say around there is when it really started to pick up.
You remember any moments like that, Lauren, where it's like, oh, this is really happening?
Yeah, I mean, there was this team growing up. They were called the Fury, and they kicked our butts when we were little. I mean, this girl, she plays at UNO now. She threw gas. We weren't even close to hitting her. And we went to our first end-of-the-year tournament, and we were the youngest team in the division, and we ended up beating them. It was like the greatest thing that could ever happen. We felt like we just won the World Series, and we you pitched and beat them, I think, and I got a hit off of her, and I was like, man, we're getting somewhere.
Did that kind of motivate you to work more and harder as you started to see results?
Yeah, definitely. It really just showed you like the hard work you're putting in paid off, and just every day you went to the batting cages. Yeah, there were definitely days you didn't want to go or didn't feel like it, but it really made it all worth it when you got to see it pay off.
I'd say the same, just knowing that like now seeing what I accomplished and not looking back from where I was, just really seeing all that hard work pay off.
So when did you guys start getting recruited? When did you realize you had opportunity maybe to play beyond high school?
So we played for the Quakes growing up, and then my first year of 14s, I still played for that team. And then after that, it was...
Did you guys ever play on different teams?
No, we always played together. Right. And we decided that we wanted to take a shot at playing college softball. And so we went to this camp called like On Deck. And it was like, they evaluated you, like your arm speed, stuff like that. And then they sent it out to college coaches. And my travel ball coach, who ended up being there, was helping run the camp. And it was on Mother's Day. And he was there and he was like, hey, you guys have like some potential. And he was like, how about you guys come take a look at playing for our program or whatever. And they were out of Kansas City and I live in Nebraska. And so my dad was like, no way, we're not doing this. Like, we're not driving to practice. That's 3 hours away. And they kept calling and calling. We're like, no, you guys need to do it if you want to play college softball. And so we begged my dad, and I was like, Dad, this is what I want to do. I want to do it. And so finally my mom and dad let us do it. And wow. I guess that first year after we played a year with them, that's when before the rule changed. So like it wasn't your junior year. You could talk to coaches and like, I don't know, there's kids come in like 7th grade. So we were little still, and there was how many college coaches that would come to our games, and I was just knew at that spot that we had a shot at doing what we always dreamed of.
Okay, Hannah, give me this schedule. How often are you driving to practice and 3 hours away?
So during the school year, we would usually have practices Friday nights and Saturday mornings. And so we would drive down or no, Saturday night, Sunday morning. So we would drive down during the day on Saturday, spend the night at a teammate's house, wake up early for practice on Sunday, and then drive home. So we would do that during the school year, and usually my mom would go with, every once in a while my dad, because he would have to work some weekends. And then in the summer, they usually wanted us out of practice one time during the week. So we'd usually go down a day early before the tournament started, or stay a day after the tournaments and attend a practice. But that's usually how we did it.
I mean, it's a commitment.
Yeah.
Did you guys waver at all? You're missing birthday parties. I mean, tell me some of the things that you missed, and did it make you want to maybe think about doing something else?
Yeah, I mean, we missed a lot. I mean, we missed friends' birthday parties, family birthday parties, school dances. And honestly, I was like, this is my dream. Like, it's all I've ever wanted. And there were times I was like, man, I really wish I could go do this. But
I mean, your friends are always like, just skip. I mean, why can't you just skip? I'm like, well, got a team full of 11 other girls who aren't just skipping. Like, so it's like, you can't just do that.
How do you, I'm interested in how you're wired that way. Do you know how you became so focused on that goal?
I would say definitely from my parents. I mean, that's how they are. They're very like, my dad, I mean, he doesn't miss a day of work ever unless he's coming to watch us play softball. I mean, it doesn't matter if he's sick, he goes to work. And so that's just how I was raised. I mean, they've put that in us that if you want something, you have to, no one's just gonna give it to you. You have to go out and get it. So definitely my parents.
I would say my parents too. I mean, they've always ingrained in our brain, like, it's yours. If you really, truly want it, it's yours to go get. No one's just gonna hand it on a silver platter for you. You're gonna have to work your butt off to go get it.
So tell me what you guys, for those of us that didn't maybe get to watch you play, what positions were you playing, when you're in this recruiting zone? Maybe you're getting in your sophomore, junior, senior years. What positions are you guys playing?
I grew up as a middle infielder, so I played 90% of my time as a shortstop in high school, in club ball, all those years. I caught on the side a little bit, but it was mostly just because my parents didn't want to catch Hannah at her pitching lessons. So my dad was like, I'm tired of sitting in the bucket. It's your turn to do it now. So I just put the gear on and ended up catching her. And I never took catching lessons. It was just what I taught myself to do back there.
So Hannah, you always been a pitcher?
Well, I didn't start pitching till I was probably 11 or 12. I kind of always wanted to be a pitcher, but I was kind of like half in, half out at the beginning. I didn't really know. So I started taking some pitching lessons on the side. I could barely throw strikes. And there was like 4 other pitchers on our team who were way better than us. So my coach kind of just said, we'll give you pitching time here or there, but like these girls are better than you, so you're gonna have to really pitch good at practice before like you can get some time in a game. So I mostly played first base a lot, outfield. I mean, I'm left-handed, so I have limited options, but mostly first base and outfield. And then probably second year 12s into 13s, 14s year, that's when pitching really started picking up for me, and I started pitching a lot more.
And you basically got behind the plate because your sister was pitching.
Yeah. She wanted to be a pitcher. I would never have been a catcher.
Did that pay off for you?
Yeah.
Hannah Camenzind strikes her out for a second time in the game.
Yep, definitely did. I mean, look at where I'm at now.
Yeah.
If I wouldn't have caught her, I wouldn't be behind the plate here. So.
Yeah, and you're right-handed.
Yep.
Right? You guys ever wonder how that happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, every once in a while. I mean, my dad's left-handed.
And our mom's right-handed, so we got one of each.
Is either one of them a twin?
No.
Do you guys live together?
Yeah.
We do.
Anybody else live with y'all, or is it just you two?
Yeah, we have Robin Heron and then Kiki Estrada. They both live with us too.
So what's that dynamic like?
It's really nice to have other people there too, to like split it up a little bit. But Robin always cracks jokes with us. Sometimes we're always fighting in there, and she can hear us, and she'll come out and be like, "You two need to knock it off."
So you guys get into it like other brothers and sisters. Yeah. Well, also I think just in life, I mean, not that I'm some relationship expert, but when you're around each other all the time, and you guys have done so many things together, right?
Everything.
Yeah, and I guess it was probably like that off the field too.
Yeah. School.
We had almost all the same friends. I mean, growing up, like through kindergarten, our parents split us up like in classes. our teachers kind of recommended that just so we could form our own friends and not rely on each other so much. So we never really had classes together in school, but outside of school, like, we still made the same friends mostly.
You guys look alike, but are you technically identical twins?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. But do you think you have enough differences that people can tell, or do you fool them quite a bit?
I feel like right when people get to know us, we fool them a lot. But then, like, once they've been around us, like, especially here, once people got around us for like 2 to 3 months, they started getting the hang of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's no fooling anybody now.
Not anymore.
Not especially on a team.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can't really run out there and trade jerseys or anything like that. So how would you say the freshman experience has gone so far at Arkansas?
First pitch swinging, that ball is hammered. And that ball is gone. Camenzind with a 2-out, 2-run home run. The Hogs continue to hammer away at the plate.
I mean, it's been amazing. Just everything about it. It's been everything we've ever dreamed of. We've accomplished so many things as freshmen that if you would have asked me 6 months ago, 3 months ago, a month ago, I would have never guessed I've done the things that I've done.
Why do you think that? Why have you guys been able to have the success that you've had so far here?
I would just say the hard work that we put in, just knowing that what the work ethic that we had getting here and continue it since we've got here. When we haven't got the results that we wanted, we've always gone right back in the cage and got after it to get it the next weekend. So just continuing that work ethic ever since we've continued to be here.
Tell me about Coach Deifel and playing in this program and how that's impacted you. And
she settled in. She pitched her tail off. I could not be more proud of her.
How's that impacted you guys?
They've been amazing. I mean, they've taken us in from the beginning before we were committed here, and just really, they've cared a lot about us outside the softball field. I mean, they care about you as a young woman, not just what you're doing on the softball field for them. So they've really just helped out the transition a lot. Coming into here, made us feel at home every single day. They've been amazing.
Yeah, what do you want out of a coach, like, as you're trying to develop and grow?
I would say not just someone who cares about you, what you do for their program, like just a coach that doesn't care about the stats that you put up to make their program look good, but also cares about who you are as a person outside their program, and knowing that they're going to help shape you for your future, not just for the stats you can put up for them.
And what does your future look like beyond softball? Let's start with you, Lauren.
Well, my major right now is broadcast journalism. So I would love to be an ESPN sideline reporter. It's what I want to do when I get older.
Really?
Yeah.
Hopefully, forget the older part, just when you're done playing softball. Like,
Yeah.
You can play softball as long as you can.
Yeah.
How about you, Hannah?
Right now I'm a sports management major. So looking at like coaching of some type. Still not 100% sure what I want to do, but that's what I'm leaning towards right now.
So different aspirations beyond college softball.
Oh,
Yes.
I got you. What do you guys do when you're not playing softball?
Mostly softball, but I would say just hanging out with my friends. We have a lot of my friends, my family. We have a lot of little cousins, so spending time with them, and we love to hang out with our dogs.
Tell me about the dogs.
We have
We have two English bulldogs. We had one. We just got the other one like a month ago. Yeah.
Wow.
We love our dogs.
That's awesome. Do you guys post a lot on social media or at all?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, or I bet the dogs are part of
Yeah.
that.
They've been on there.
Pictures, yeah.
Yeah. So, what are your goals personally? And then let's just start there. Lauren, what are your goals as a softball player at the University of Arkansas? You don't have to go super detailed, but like big picture.
I would just say for me, I'll go first. I just want to use my platform to really inspire all the young little girls out there. I mean, that's what got me so in love with the game. Just seeing all those other college softball players who were older than me. I mean, that's what made me fall in love with the game. So I just hope to be that for all the other little girls out there and show them that, I mean, if that's what your dream is, you can go out and get it.
That's pretty cool.
I would say that too, and also just being not known as just who I am as a softball player, but as a teammate, and being the best teammate that I can be for my other teammates, and knowing that it's not just what I do as a perform for my stats and stuff like that, but also the type of person I am to the people around me.
It gives me a lot of confidence just to have someone back there who knows me so well. I mean, she knows when I need to talk to or when I need someone to get after me. And so it just gives me a lot of confidence having her back there.
What's it like being back there and maybe Hannah's struggling? And you're trying to manage her a little? Is that what's going on a little bit? Like,
I just know that there's times where I can get after her, knowing there's times where she just needs me to be there to support her, and just knowing the difference between those times. Like this weekend when, I don't know, she's doing good and there's still some times that like the ball's too on the plate, I can just be like, come on, Hannah, like can't leave that one hang. But then also like the weekend before where she struggled to find the strike zone a little bit against Kentucky, and seeing that she's a little frustrated, just knowing that she needs support right there and not someone just to get after her.
It's been great to listen to your story. And as we sort of wrap this up, I just think about, the way you guys started, how difficult it was, and you weren't just, already great and taking off. What is softball and what is playing sports, but this game in particular, what has it taught you?
I would say it's definitely taught me how to work hard for something that you want, and it's definitely taught me how to be resilient. I mean, there's so many times, you're playing a game of failure, so succeeding 4 times out of 10 is extremely good in college softball. So I would just say definitely how to be resilient and how to work hard for something.
Yeah, I would say the same thing, like fighting for what you want, that no one's ever going to hand you anything in life, and that if you truly want it, it's up to you to go get it.
All right, so when your time is done here, you're finished playing softball, we try to ask everybody that plays this that we get to interview, how do you hope that people remember you, Lauren, from your time as a Razorback?
That I've created a platform for little girls to see that, like, if it's your dream, that you can truly go get it. No matter how you start off, it doesn't determine what your end result is. That even if you are struggling at the beginning, that if you put in the work, that it'll get you where you want to be.
How about you, Hannah?
I would say definitely just for the kind of person I am, how I treat people on and off the softball field, just things like that. I mean, same thing as she said, that I inspire little girls to be here one day. They can do it too, and just definitely the kind of person I am, that for sure.